the Get Real podcast. I'm your host, Tanika Meeks, and today's topic is God-fearing deceit. I know, strange topic, but let me explain. So this year, I've had 3 different guys come at me with this, I'm a God-fearing man. Now, all of this has been online. They've all been via Facebook. So normally it's the guy sends you a Facebook request, you accept, then next thing you know, he's in your DMs, and then they go on to list all these wonderful qualities that make them, the perfect boyfriend or the perfect husband. But to me, when a man says he's God-fearing, that's always a red flag. That to me is a huge red flag for me not to want to date somebody. And I'll explain to you why in this video. So for the purposes of my videos, I tell you, like on the podcast, I always try to explain to everyone the terms I use. So in the Bible, nowhere does it say God-fearing. It always talks about the fear of God. So for the purposes of this video and the podcast, we're going to define the fear of God is respecting him, obeying him, submitting to his discipline, and worshiping him in awe. So that is going to be our definition of the fear of God. Nowhere in the Bible does it say God-fearing. It says the fear of God. So that's red flag number 1. They're using the whole term incorrectly, but that's another podcast. So what normally happens, like I said, these guys send me the friend requests, then they're in my DMs talking about they are a God-fearing man. But to me, you can't tell me you're a God-fearing man. You can show me you're a God-fearing man. You can show me through how you text me, how you talk to me, how we interact. Your actions either prove or disprove whether or not you're a God-fearing person, either man or woman. I'm not just talking about men. Women claim to be God-fearing women, but it's not you saying that makes it true. It's you living it that makes it true. If you actually look at that definition contains 4 verbs: respecting, obeying, submitting, and worshiping. Those are things you do. So the only way that you can prove to another person that you're God-fearing is through your actions, through your behaviors, the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with them, and the way you interact with others. So when someone comes at you with this whole I'm God-fearing, give them the side eye first, and then watch what they do, because their actions will either prove that what they're saying is the truth, or it'll prove that what they're saying is a lie. And 2 out of the guys I talked about were just basically looking for an American woman to marry. They were looking for some single, lonely woman that they could try to make themselves, seem bigger than what they were. And one of them was just like a local creep here in Kansas. But one of the things I want to warn people about, especially single women, older single women, because that's what these men are looking for. They're looking for older, single women that they perceive to be lonely and vulnerable. Now, I don't particularly care for the fact that I fall into that category, but obviously I do, because I've had more than one guy approach me in this fashion. But ultimately, when someone says they're God-fearing, what they're trying to do is disarm you. They're trying to get you to let your guard down. We all know that there are certain assumptions built around Christianity. And one of them is that you're this nice person, you're this truthful person, you're this honest person. So when they come at you with this, I'm a God-fearing man, they're automatically trying to get you to let your guard down. They're trying to get you to basically put those assumptions off on them without them ever actually proving that they're God-fearing. Now, to me, this is what they're trying to build up, this illusion of being a nice guy, a God-fearing Christian man. Now, when I was actually researching this earlier, this really took me by surprise. I didn't know there was a such thing as the nice guy syndrome. So to me, when a man comes to me talking about, oh, well, I'm a God-fearing man, you're trying to give me that illusion that you're a nice guy. And so when I came across this nice guy syndrome, I was like, whoa, this is a whole syndrome now? Like, this is a medical diagnosis now? So I'm going to tell you what the nice guy syndrome is. It's an informal term commonly used either with a literal or sarcastic meaning for a man. In the literal sense, the term describes a man who is agreeable, gentle, compassionate, sensitive, and vulnerable. Now, all of those are wonderful traits to have if they're true. if that person can prove that they are indeed those things. But for most men, it's a deception. It's a game they're trying to play to make you believe that there's something they're not. They're trying to fool you. They're trying to deceive you. And that's why the name of the video is God-fearing deception, because it is a deception. These men out the gate are lying to you. These men out the gate are trying to deceive you into thinking that there's something they're not. And that to me is dangerous, because a lot of women, we fall for that. We're out here looking for that nice guy, that God-fearing man. But I caution you, when men come up to you and they automatically throw out there, oh, I'm a God-fearing man, take a step back. Because someone can't tell you they're God-fearing. Somebody can show you they're God-fearing. So when a man comes at you with that, oh, I'm a God-fearing man, make sure you take that step back and really watch his actions. Watch who he is. Watch how he is. Watch how he carries himself. Basically ask him to tell you about his relationship with God. Because if you're a God-fearing man, you should have one out the gate. You should have a relationship with the Lord. You shouldn't be talking about your God-fearing, well, I don't pray, I don't go to church, you what? If you're God-fearing, you should have a very intimate relationship with the Lord. And if you don't have that, then you're not a God-fearing man. And honestly, you're a liar. You're a deceitful person who's using the name of the Lord to try to take advantage of other people, men and women. I'm not just saying that this is men. Now, they say the nice guy syndrome is just men, but this whole God-fearing thing can be a man or a woman. And so I make this podcast, this video, with a word of caution. Be on the lookout for these people, not just online, but in person. Definitely be on the lookout for these type of people who are using the Lord to try to disarm you, to take advantage of you, to try to deceive you. Because they're out there. They're out there all day, every day. These are people you will meet in the club, people you'll meet in bars, people you will meet in the church. Deceitful people are everywhere. They're not just online. Creeps come in all shape, form, and fashion, and they are everywhere. So be cautious, be careful, and be on the lookout. Please take this video seriously, because again, I've had 3 come to me this year, and that's just online. I haven't been, if you pay attention to the podcast, I don't date. So I'm more than sure if I was actually actively dating, that number would probably drastically increase. So again, this is the Get Real podcast. I'm Tanika Meeks. New content will be posted every Saturday. Word of mouth is still the best advertising. So if you like the podcast or the videos, please tell someone else about it. Tell them to give it a shot, take a listen. They might like what they hear.